Every gardener eventually faces it, that patch of soil that just won't cooperate. You water, you fertilize, you plant, and still the results are disappointing. The soil feels lifeless, hard, and sterile. It's almost as if you're planting into dead dirt instead of a living foundation. That was the state of part of my own garden not long ago. But then I added one thing, just one simple addition, and within days, the soil began to change. Worms showed up, microbes activated, and suddenly what had been barren started transforming into a living, breathing ecosystem. Today I'm going to share exactly what I added, why it works, and how you can use it to bring your own soil back to life without chemicals. Healthy soil isn't just dirt, it's alive. Before we dive into what I added, it's important to understand why soil health matters so much. Healthy soil isn't just a medium to hold plant roots, it's a living system. So, inside a handful of rich soil, you'll actually find billions of bacteria, miles of fungal threads, and tiny creatures like nematodes, mites, and of course, earthworms. Together, this underground community breaks down organic matter, cycles nutrients, and creates the structure that roots need to thrive. When soil loses that life, through overuse of chemicals, compaction, or neglect, it just turns into lifeless dirt. Plants struggle, pests take over, and yields drop. The goal isn't just to feed plants, but to rebuild that living soil food web. So what did I add that changed everything? Worm castings. That's it. Pure finished worm compost. Castings are the richest natural soil amendment you can use. They're packed with plant-available nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, but more importantly, they're full of beneficial microbes. When you add worm castings to poor soil, you're not just adding nutrients, you're reintroducing the biology that makes soil function. It's like hitting the reset button on your soil's ecosystem. Within just a few days of applying worm castings, I noticed earthworms moving in, moisture retention getting better, and honestly, the seedlings were responding with stronger, greener growth. Worm castings are sometimes called black gold for good reason, you know. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that give plants a quick dose of nutrients, castings deliver food in a slow, steady release. They also contain humic acids that improve soil structure, which helps sandy soil hold water and, at the same time, lets heavy clay drain more freely. On top of that, castings are teeming with beneficial microbes, tiny organisms that outcompete harmful pathogens and make nutrients more available to roots. This microbial life is what really turns dead soil back into a functioning ecosystem. Plants grown in worm casting-enriched soil are more resistant to disease, less stressed in drought, and more productive overall. Using worm castings is simple. For seedlings, mix a small handful into the planting hole or blend it into your potting mix. For established plants, sprinkle castings around the base and water them in. They can also be brewed into a worm tea, a liquid that delivers the same microbial life and nutrients directly to plant roots. The key is consistency. Even a light application every few weeks keeps soil biology active and continually improving. You don't need mountains of castings. A little goes a long way. After just a week of adding castings to my struggling garden bed, I saw worms moving through the soil in numbers I hadn't seen before. The ground felt looser and smelled richer. Within a month, my tomato seedlings that had been stunted suddenly put on inches of growth, with deep green leaves instead of pale yellow. Beans germinated more evenly, and peppers that had looked weak began to flower. That one addition didn't just feed the plants, it rebuilt the soil community that keeps everything in balance. That's why I say the soil turned into a living, breathing ecosystem. The biggest lesson here is this. Healthy gardens don't start with fertilizer, they start with living soil. If your beds feel lifeless, adding worm castings is one of the fastest, most natural ways to restore balance. By reintroducing microbes, improving structure, and feeding the soil food web, you create conditions where plants practically grow themselves. What I saw in just a few days confirmed what many organic gardeners already know. When you take care of the soil takes care of your plants. If you found this guide helpful, subscribe to Gentle Herb Living for more natural gardening strategies. And if you know another gardener struggling with dead, unproductive soil, share this video with them. Together, we can grow healthier gardens by rebuilding life from the ground up.